Hi there, welcome to True Gooner. And in this hangout here, we're joined with a special guest, Alex from BlueMoonRisingTV. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Cheers. Thanks for having me on. How are
And
you?
Craig, yeah, good, thanks. And Craig, also from Gooner Talk. How are you?
I'm very well, mate. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
And because Arsenal play Man City this Sunday, which is still a massive game, whichever way you look about it, we thought we'd join Alex, who's actually a Man City fan, to discuss his thoughts on the game. So we'll start with you. How are you feeling towards the game this weekend?
Yeah, I'm feeling all right. I think besides what happened in Madrid week, which I'm sure you'll ask me about later on, I thought we were in form, and we're doing all right. And I've got a feeling that we, at home, Arsenal, we usually play all right against you. So I'm feeling fairly positive. Then it's Manchester City, and if anyone's going to throw it away, it'll be the boys in blue.
Craig, what do you think of that? Are you confident, or do you think it'll be?
For the first time in years, Alex, I'm confident. Going to the Etihad Stadium. If there was any better time to play Manchester City, it's now. Just been tonked by Southampton, who, in fairness, tonked us as well. Just been knocked out of the Champions League. We know what it's like as a fan to get tonked in the league and then to get knocked out of the Champions League in the same week. I think Manchester City are going to be demoralised. And just for that reason, I think we're going to beat them. I think Company's injured, isn't he? Big, massive loss for Manchester City at the back there.
You say that Company's out injured with a massive loss. We played most of the season without Vincent Company, and yes, we did get taken apart by a very good Southampton side, but that was a very weakened squad. And I think that Real Madrid didn't go to plan at all. We were one goal away from a Champions League final, and that is gutting. But this game now between Arsenal and City, isn't that just? It's virtually a cup final now, because you look at Liverpool, probably going to win the Europa League. You need to finish third to guarantee Champions League football. I'm looking at it as a City fan and thinking, hang on, we might regroup here and we might do the business.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, obviously, and I like your optimism, Craig, going into this. But I actually find it. I think this is going to be a massive game and a tough one, no matter which way you look at it.
But they're always great games. Manchester City and Arsenal, they're always great games. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, City will definitely be up for this because they only have the league to concentrate on, so they'll need the points. But yes, there is that thing that they have come on the back of 2 defeats. Alex, we'll come back to you. Basically, last time we did play you, Arsenal did get the 2 wins, is because Wenger set up tactically differently, and it's a shame we haven't been able to kick on from that. So, do you see a different Arsenal approach into this?
I mean, it's Arsenal in a weird way. We played Arsenal sort of at the peak of your season. That's fair to say, at the Emirates. I went myself, and to be honest, you were the better side from whistle to whistle, in pretty much every area. And bar one wonder goal from Yaya Toure, we were poor that night. And I think that when Arsenal play, you can beat anyone, and that's what I think Craig touched on it there. It's going to be 2 sides that play good, attractive, interesting football going head to head. And if Arsenal come at your best, there's not too much we can do about that. But ultimately, there's the whole Wenger in, Wenger out thing that's come around again. It feels like there's, from what I can see as an outsider, I watch a crisis, but it feels like Arsenal have got their own little problems going on, and there's some fans that aren't necessarily getting behind Wenger 100%. There's a couple of key players that can really do the business. Ozil and Sanchez, obviously, like top players, and as an opposition fan, they're the ones you worry about. But there's also a few players in that squad that I wonder, are they 100% committed to playing for a club that are just aiming for Champions League football when they could be playing for not necessarily bigger clubs, but clubs that have got that little bit more ambition to go and win more trophies than Arsenal are competing for. So you can come and tell me, it's a good time to play Manchester City, but I think also it's as good a time as you're going to get to play Arsenal too.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Craig, I just want to come back to you because Alex mentioned a bit about players that we've got good, about wanting to play for bigger clubs. What got me last weekend was Alexis Sanchez's reaction when he got substituted. I was really fearing whether he got substituted because he was either just frustrated with Arsenal, just how we played, or whether he was just disappointed to get substituted.
Well, I think Seb, he was disappointed to come off. No footballer wants to come off the football pitch, and especially Alexis Sanchez doesn't want to come off the football pitch. Yes, first instance when I was watching it, I had my head in my hands. Oh God, no, this is it now. Ozil's body language last week as well wasn't too great. But at the end of the day, these two players are world class, and they want to be playing and winning football matches. Whether Arsene Wenger is getting the tactics wrong, whether Arsene Wenger is not saying the right things to the players. I mean, we've even heard that when we played Manchester United, it was the players that picked the tactics that week. And look what happened when we beat them 3-0 at the Emirates.
Yeah.
It's come out without whether that's true or not, I don't know. I kind of knee-jerked on Twitter and said, "Oh, that's it. Sanchez is off." Blah 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 blah. But when you sit down and you think about it, if you was Alexis Sanchez, being subbed off in a game that we had to win. He's going to be disappointed. Simple as that. Any footballer don't want. No footballers want to come off. You look at any footballer that comes off the pitch, they might not show it, but you can see it that they're disappointed to come off.
Yeah, definitely, especially a player of his ability, and he's liking because he's always keen to play, even when he didn't get the rest. So we'll go back to the season as a whole. So Alex, Man City has had a similar season to Arsenal, really. When at the start of the season you won the first 5 games on the trot, and then you stopped pretty much, and which makes me even more frustrating that Arsenal didn't take advantage of that. So basically, Alex, what's been your thoughts on the season, on your whole season? Do you think it's been all right? You did win the Capital One Cup and you did get to Champions League semi-final. So how do you see the season?
Just as you're putting out there, Sebastian, we've had similar seasons. The difference is Manchester City have picked up some silverware. And, we know how frustrating it is as football fans when you support a bigger club, is that you not necessarily expect, but you're disappointed when you don't see your clubs competing for trophies. So to say that we've won a trophy, it makes me feel. I don't want to say that I'm disappointed with our season because we have won something, and gutted that we got knocked out of the Champions League semi-final. You want to see your club play in a final, but also for 95% of football fans in England won't ever get to see their club in a Champions League semi-final. You boys will have seen Arsenal in a Champions League final, and you know how special a competition it is.
Yeah.
To have seen that this season, that sort of makes it doesn't make our troubles in the league any better, but it makes it a little bit more manageable when you know that actually we knocked out a PSG side, we finished top of a group that had Juventus in it, and we took Real Madrid with 2 legs, and I thought over the 2 legs actually we didn't make them look anything special. So we've had a mixed season. It should have gone better. This is a season where Leicester won the league, and full credit to Leicester City. Great side. I love Ranieri. I love what they've got going on. But the Manchester Cities, the Chelseas, the Arsenals, the Manchester Uniteds have to ask, how did that happen? Because it was there for the taking this year. Look at City's squad. There's not a Leicester player that I'd have over anyone in the Manchester City squad. And that makes it almost inexcusable that we're still not in the title race at this point. We should be up there.
Yeah, definitely. Craig, also Alex has mentioned there that there's not a Leicester player that he'll take into the Man City squad. Would you want any Leicester players in our Arsenal squad? Because I can instantly think of one that I would take any day.
Well, I can instantly think of 2 I'd have. Arsenal straight away, Jamie Vardy and Mahrez.
I wouldn't have gone for any of those 2. I personally, the one I really wanted was Kante, because I just love that way he organises that midfield. Obviously, I would take Mahrez. Vardy is definitely a good clinical striker, which something we've lacked over the years. But the thing with Vardy is I feel he's getting on with age a little bit. So is he? I think he's near his 30s.
I think Mesut Ozil would make his job very, very easy. If he was playing up front for Arsenal. And Mahrez, Sanchez on the left, Mahrez on the right, Ozil Vardy up front. I'd have some of that.
Jamie Vardy, though, plays in a sort of counter-attacking long ball system. Would he fit in at Arsenal? Is he the man that you need?
I might have not thought about it too much. Just for his goal. I think Mercer Ozil would make his job very easy. Jamie Vardy's job probably wouldn't fit in. But certainly Mahrez would be an Arsenal type player. He's cut out for us, I think. Better than Walcott, better than Chamberlain.
Yeah, definitely.
Start for me every week. I think with El Neni coming through there now. Another player we brought cheap as chips. It's turned out to be, I think he's only been with us 3 months. I think he's won Player of the Month already. Plays the game nice and easy. Passes forwards, doesn't always pass sideways. Like your new coach does, Alex, Mr. Arteta.
You wouldn't have Guardiola at Arsenal.
You'll be able.
You mentioned Walcott there, and as a City fan, I'd like to sort of ask about him because he's a player that's had loads of injuries. But I've read in the papers this morning that City are apparently going to make a move for Walcott, and I was just sort of asking what Arsenal fans, you're obviously a little bit more in touch with what's going on with Walcott's situation. Would you be sad to see him go? It was a bit of a surprise name for me to see linked with a move away.
I wouldn't be sad to see him go, Alex. What a lot of people forget is it is a testimonial year for Theo Walcott. Came to Arsenal with so much promise. Got into the England squad at 17. We all know about that. Came to Arsenal with so much promise. Showed some brilliance in his first few seasons, but as it's gone on, Theo Walcott is just not going to be the player that we all hoped that he would turn out to be. Like I said, mate, 10 years he's been at our club. Testimonial year. And Alex, you know your football, mate. Can you tell me anything? Can you tell me one game that Theo Walcott's changed on his own? Because I can't, and I'm an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, I think the last time I remember watching Theo Walcott and saying, "Oh, wow," was it Croatia where he scored the hat trick?
There you go.
It must be going back 6-7 years ago, and that was when he was 22 years old, and you thought, "Wow, there's a heck of a player there." It feels, to be honest, I don't look at him as one and think he's a Pep Guardiola player, but I look at him and think, name an English left winger that is going to walk onto the plane at the Euros. The reason Lallana gets so much football for England is that he's probably the best English player that can play on that left-hand side. And it frustrates me as an England fan that Theo Walcott doesn't want to sit on that left wing. I know he wants to play as a number 9, he wants to play as a centre forward. And personally, I don't think he'd ever get that job at City when Sergio Aguero's around.
Of course not.
But I look at him as a left winger and go, he'd walk into the England team, wouldn't he? As the first choice left winger now.
He probably would, but I don't think Theo Walcott wants to play on the left wing, and that's where we have the problem. I don't think Theo Walcott knows what his position is, and a lot of that has got to come down to Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger plays him on the right wing. Arsene Wenger plays him up front. He tells him he wants to play as a striker. He plays him as a striker. He's awful. Play him on the wing. He's awful again. What a lot of people see, and what I see about Theo Walcott is he's just got pace, Alex. He's the kick and run footballer. Kick it, run past you. Kick it, run past you. He can't finish. He can't pass. What more can I say? To see Theo Walcott go at the end of the season, to answer your question, no, I wouldn't be sad to see Theo Walcott go. I wish him all the best. And I thank him for everything. But no, I wouldn't be sad, not at all.
So when he comes back to the Emirates next summer, then as a Manchester City player, he's not getting
anything. Oh, Alex, you're not having any. How many more of our players do you want? Oh, I've seen it enough. I've seen it enough over the years. The Sami Nasri one broke my heart.
He went for the money, didn't he? Look,
Sami Nasri one that I'm so excited for next season. I think he's. I read recently that he was named. I don't know who it was. Copper 90 maybe. I can't remember who it was, but they named him as one of the flops of the Premier League. And I found it really frustrating because I think he's a fantastic player, sort of silky smooth player who can just turn it on and unlock a defence. And I actually think that he's not that far behind David Silva, who's sort of held up as this world-class talent, quite rightfully. But Nasri's never really remembered in that conversation. And I look at Nasri and think, he's a Pep Guardiola player. He's someone that's ideal for that pass and move system that Guardiola makes look so easy. And Thank you very much, Arsenal, because that is due to his background at Arsenal at the Wenger sort of glory years. And thank you very much. That's going to come out on the next season.
Oh dear. Well, I hope you're wrong, but yeah. Well, let's get on to that point because Alex, you say obviously you're getting Pep Guardiola next season. And that also broke my heart as well because I was so gutted you got him because I instantly wanted him to replace Wenger at the end of the season because I thought he would have been perfect because everything he does, Arsenal over the years have actually been very suited to it. So, like you've just mentioned, what do you reckon Pep Guardiola will instantly change your team, will make you proper winners? Obviously, it will take a season or two, but what do you reckon he'll bring to your team now?
I think to an extent he's already changed our team. I think you look at the effect on the team since January when it was announced. Already you've got players like Yaya Toure who've decided that he doesn't want to be here next season, and his motivation, his effort is just shrunk to a pulp. Equally, you've got one or two players, your Fernandos and your Navas, that have been on the fringe of the City squads that have got to earn their place. And those are two players that, in my opinion, have really kicked on. And I never thought I'd be saying this a year ago, but Fernando and Navas have been two of our star men since January. I think just by Pep Guardiola being Pep Guardiola, from day one, you'll see a change at Manchester City. I think he'll want to spend a little bit of money. I think he'll want to bring in some of his own faces. It looks like Gundogan, who is a top player from the continent, will be coming in, and we're going to build the team around him in the middle of the midfield. So the changes are going to be big. I don't think we should be expecting a Premier League title like that just because Guardiola's turning up, because it looks like Mourinho will be at Manchester United next season.
Yeah,
and managerial next season, the Premier League should be a tactical masterclass. If you read the form with Guardiola coming in, you're thinking like Pochettino's really raised his game. Mourinho's coming over. Maybe even Wenger gets replaced at this season. Everton are going to have a load of money on a new manager. The top end of the table is going to be tight. So I don't want to expect Pep Guardiola to win something, but I think it's going to be that little bit of extra magic that we need to get the job done.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, because definitely he'll have a massive effect. And I've also noticed since you've actually recruited him, your form has dipped a little bit more. So players are just unsure about whether they're staying, whether they're going. Craig, we'll come on to you now. First of all, what do you reckon, Pep Guardiola? Do you reckon you might find the Premier League a bit difficult? Or do you reckon,
Well, I mean, he's proved his managerial abilities elsewhere. Champions League finals with Barcelona, Champions League finals with Bayern Munich. I think he's in for a little bit of a surprise. I'm not too sure if he thinks it's going to be easy or not. I'm sure he doesn't. But I think he's going to be in for a little bit of a shock coming to the Premier League. It's a tough division, tactical division.
Definitely.
But I fully expect him to do well. Fully expect him to do well. He's obviously going to bring his own players in. He's got a blank checkbook at his disposal. He can bring in basically who he wants. I think there'll be a lot of toing and froing at Manchester City this year. But on the whole, I'm actually very excited to have Guardiola in the Premier League. It's the league we'll watch week in, week out, and to have the best managers and the best players in it is great.
Yeah, definitely. But I just wish he was with Arsenal. But obviously, but
we all wish that we had Pep Guardiola as our manager.
Yeah, definitely.
But it wasn't to be. So, but it's great to have him in the English game, and it'll be great to see how he gets on.
Yeah, definitely. And also, Alex before was mentioning the points about these other managers he's going to compete with, because Klopp's going to raise his game, Mourinho's going to possibly come to Man United, Conte's going to Chelsea, Pochettino looks like he's going to continue on, and even Leicester might stay up there, because it's not a guarantee they're going to walk away.
Yeah, so, talking about the unclean from up the road, I think they're going to be a one-season wonder, Spurs.
I really hope so.
I mean, look, let's get it right, Seb. This is their best season since '61, and they're 3 points above us.
Yeah.
They're going to have an open bus top parade for finishing runners-up. They're going to release a DVD for the 30 minutes that they were 2-1 up when we were top for 13 minutes. I think the cover's out for that one already. No, I don't expect Spurs to be up there again next year at all. And that's not me being bitchy, if you want.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel. Chelsea, new manager, talks of people going in, talks of people going out. I think that might keep them a little bit unsettled. I don't know. Klopp worries me.
Yeah, he does, definitely.
He is a very, very good football manager.
Absolutely.
And another manager I'd like to have seen.
Yeah, that's big time. Yeah.
But there was no one available. Guardiola, Mourinho. I don't think Mourinho will go to Manchester United, and that's just in my opinion. I think they'll keep on Louis van Gaal for another year.
Yeah, if they win the FA Cup, they'll probably get top 4. Which I don't think they'll get top 4.
I've got mates here who support Man United, and they don't want Van Gaal to go because Van Gaal is bringing in a lot of good youth players, and they know that as soon as Mourinho comes in, no, you're not playing for me. Where's the checkbook? He'll probably get rid of Marcus Rashford. He'll probably get rid of the younger players that are coming through. And then that young Marcus Rashford, I tell you what, he's a strong player. But yeah, I'm looking forward to next season already. I really am. I'm kind of, people who watch the show that we do. I'm quite Wenger out, but respectfully. I'm not going to call it. I'm not. What he's done for Arsenal is great.
Definitely.
But I think now I'm come to terms with it. He's going to be our manager next year, so let's just get on with it. Yeah.
But so Wenger's obviously going to looks like he does going to stay on this season. So Craig, do you reckon he'll be able to compete with the top managers? What does he need to do really to actually bring back the glory days?
Well, first of all, he needs to modernise his tactics. He needs a plan B. He needs to buy some players. Something that he hasn't done for the last 5 or 6 years. Change his tactics. Everyone knows how to play us. Everyone knows how to play us. I mean, you're even seeing it at the Emirates. People are coming to the Emirates. 10 people behind the ball. Right, come on then.
Yeah, Norwich and Palace certainly did show that.
Come and see if you can break us down. We go away from home. Teams constantly catch us on the counter attack. We can see stupid goals, stupid defensive mistakes. I've said this before to you, mate, when Arsene Wenger first came to the Premier League, he was 10 years in front of any football manager ever. Now he's 20 years behind everyone else. Yeah. I don't think, unless Arsene Wenger really, really puts a rocket up his own arse, I don't think he will compete with them. And I think it'll be another 6th, 5th or 4th season finish.
Yeah, well, I can see where you're coming from there. Alex, we'll just come to you again. Because this is also partly an Arsenal fans channel, can I just have your quick views? What have you actually made at Arsenal this season? It's been quite similar to yours, to your team. What have you made?
I hate to say it, it's same old at Arsenal. It feels from the outsider. Arsenal, you had a cracking run, and it's almost a look at Arsenal and think you've got 11 that could win the Champions League. From 1 to 11, you've got some cracking players. But once the season progresses and injuries start to set in, you've not got the squad to replace those players, and it feels like you almost expect Arsenal to fall away as an opposition fan. And boys, I hate to say that to your faces, but it's almost like if I feel that way, how does the dressing room feel? When you've got a semi-final and you've got to, you're top of the table or whatever, and everything looks rosy, but you've almost got that idea of, can we actually go through with this? And it's a real shame because there's some quality players, like I said before, your Sanchez's, your Girouds and Ozils and stuff, are all players that are capable of lifting a Premier League trophy and probably deserve it on their own merit. But for me, it needs a little bit. Surprise, surprise, for a Manchester City fan, it needs a little bit of the money spent. And people can criticise Man City and say that we bought the league. I don't think that's true. I bought to compete with Manchester United and Chelsea. And you look at managers like Guardiola that show you can develop young players and splash a little bit of cash as well. And it feels like, Arsenal, you need someone to back up Giroud, because when Giroud's out, who's going to get you those 20 goals a season? You need someone at the back that's going to be a leader. That if your big centre halves, the Mertesackers or whatever, they fall away, who's going to come in to replace them? You need a squad, not just a team now, to compete in the Premier League. Because if you're going to be a big club now, in the day, you're looking at 60 games when you factor in the league, the Champions League, the FA Cup, the League Cup, and so on. So this summer, if it's going to change for Arsenal next season, I think it needs to be 3 or 4 big players to revitalise that squad. Because every year it is going to be a force. Because you've got those 11 that can do the job, you need 25.
Absolutely. I think he's spot on there, don't you agree, Craig?
Well, squads win leagues, not first 11s. Squad will win in league.
Yeah. Also,
I mean, it was proven, by the way, that you took us to school at the Emirates early this season. You know, it was that was as strong a team that we played all season. I've been all the way pretty much everywhere. You know, Arsenal gave us a bigger game than PSG did. You know, Arsenal gave us a bigger team than Leicester did, who won the league, and possibly even Spurs, who beat us 4-1 at White Hart Lane. Arsenal's 11 can take anybody on when they're all fit. It's when those injuries start to set in. That's why I think our season, we should have won the league this year, because David Silva got injured, but you can replace him with Nasri, and when Nasri gets injured, you can replace him with Sterling, and so on and so on.
Exactly.
And I think that's why we should be angry as City fans to say we should have won the league this season. Arsenal fans, with the greatest of respect from an outsider, I look at that and go, to be honest, at the start of the season, if you looked at the squads, 3rd or 4th place was probably about where most football fans would have put you on their predictor. Is that hurtful? I don't mean to. I think that's probably about right. It's disappointing because you were top, but
we finished in the top 4 for the last 12.
Yeah, last 11, 12 years. Yeah, I know.
Top 4th or 3rd is nearly a given, isn't it?
I know, it's becoming a pattern now. Yeah.
Even an Arsenal fan would laugh at someone if they said, "Oh yeah, I'll put Arsenal top." I'd laugh at someone if they put Arsenal top in their predictor. I'd laugh at them.
Don't actually get me wrong. This early this season, I actually predicted that it could really happen, but it just hasn't. Even most times this season, I did say we could finish top. If I did say all season that we've got the players to do it, I just think it's the tactics and the mentality problem. I think that's wrong. And obviously, of course, we've missed the likes of Santi Cazorla, and now because I think we badly missed him. And onto that topic now. Let's go on to team selection. So, Craig, we've now got. What would your team be? Who would you play?
Who would I play? Would it be Cech, Bellerin, Monreal, Gabriel, Koscielny, El Neni,
yeah.
Coquelin, Sanchez, Ozil. I would play Joe Campbell. But I don't know what that kid's done ever to get taken out of the team. To be honest,
I know he's been so unfairly treated.
Don't know what he's done.
Nothing.
And I suppose the lamppost up front, because it just isn't anyone else.
What about Welbeck? Welbeck can.
Well,
I would personally play him up front.
I think Arsene Wenger likes to keep Welbeck for a bit of impact, and at the moment, Welbeck. Welbeck is making an impact when he's coming off the bench. I was very disappointed with Iwobi last week. I thought it was a great performance at all.
Yeah, I think he's done a couple of games too many. I think.
Yeah, hence the reason I think I'll bring Joe Campbell back in. But if I was Joe Campbell, I'll probably give the 2 fingers. I think he's off this year anyway.
Yeah. Would you bring back the likes of Cazorla and Wilshere possibly from the bench, or would you start them? Because
I would definitely have Cazorla and Wilshere on the bench, but I wouldn't be starting them.
Yeah, because in my preview I kind of wanted Cazorla to actually start this because he'll actually give the threat that.
Yeah, well, I think El Neni's undroppable at the moment, mate.
Yeah, definitely. I'll play him.
I wouldn't be dropping El Neni. I mean, this geezer's come from Basel. Everyone was, taking the piss, and this ain't the big money signing we want. But at the end of the day, you look at football clubs around the world who have taken risks on players. You don't have to spend big to get a class player.
No, you don't.
I mean, look at Mahrez. Mahrez cost Leicester City 400,000.
Yeah, and he's incredible.
How much would he go for now?
Probably 30, 25.
Yeah. Jamie Vardy cost $1 million. Kasper Schmeichel cost 1.25 million.
Yeah.
You go through that Leicester squad. I think the most expensive player they bought was Kante, 5.9 million.
Yeah.
That's their most expensive player. The rest of them are $1 million, under 2 million.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend big to get a good player, and El Neni is another good example of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Alex says, we need 2, 3 big money signings.
Yeah, exactly.
Experience, quality, We need a big we need a striker up front who's a poacher. You know, we've got Mesut Ozil there in Cam, arguably one of the best central attacking midfielders in the world, sitting there doing nothing because he cannot give a ball to Olivier Giroud to get on the end of. I mean, imagine being Mesut Ozil, sending through balls through to Ronaldo. Then he comes to Arsenal, and he's got to send a through ball over to Giroud.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
No wonder the geezer's pissed off. He's made 269 chances, and only 32 have hit the back of the net since he's been at Arsenal.
Yeah.
He should have beaten this assist record this year by double it. He should have doubled it.
Yeah. It just shows you how poor our conversion rate's been.
That's ridiculous. 269 chances and only 32.
Absolutely ridiculous. Well, Alex, if he was feeding it through to Aguero is that type of player that will get it in.
Aguero would score 50 goals a season if Ozil was behind him.
Yeah, definitely. Because I've always said on paper, he is definitely by a country mile the best striker in the Prem. Definitely.
Of course, no argument.
When he's on form, he's literally unstoppable. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if Sergio Aguero has worked out how to be a foreign footballer in the Premier League, because he turns it on in September, scores your sort of 15 goals, then just as it starts to get cold in November, he gets a cheeky little hamstring injury that takes him out until February. Nice to give himself a winter break, keep him out of the cold winter. But the reality of it is that for the last couple of years, Aguero's had at least a 2-month spell. And that's what frustrates me, is that he's won the Golden Boot in England, but he's never got into a PFA Team of the Year. And for what reason, I don't know. Even this season, he's played, I think, 10 games less than Harry Kane and only scored 2 less goals. But he's just, for me, if he did get that sort of 45 games in the season and he was fit from start to finish, I think we'd put him up there with like Neymar and those sort of, Neymar in that little group that are just below the Messi and Ronaldo. And I do think, like you say, when he's on form, he's that good. But equally, the man of the moment is Kelechi Iheanacho. If Iheanacho continues his goal scoring rate this season, in the next 2 games, he'll break a record for the best goals per minute in the Premier League for players over 3 appearances. The kid's younger than me, and I look at that and think, like, I'm only getting used to the fact that there are players out there that are younger than me that are playing for City. I'm starting to get the suspicion, guys, I'm never going to play for City. But I'm looking at Kelechi and you just think, he's got no sense of occasion. He's not fazed by the big stadiums or the big games. He didn't look bothered that he was playing at Real Madrid on Wednesday night. He just likes playing football and he likes scoring goals. And he's the one that I'm looking at next season. He's going to be, people are talking about him a little bit now, but next season, I genuinely believe he could be competing for the Golden Boot next year, because he's one of those players. Given the ball, we've got the Silvers, we've got the Nasris. He knows how to put the ball at his feet, and he knows how to beat a goalkeeper.
Yeah, he sure does.
Yeah,
he knows where the goal is. There's no doubt about that.
And he's also got the likes of 2 other players who are very highly rated, De Bruyne and Silva, who constantly feed him through balls because they're fantastic, world-class players. So it will definitely help him.
Oh, certainly, yeah. Kevin De Bruyne this season, the £60 million flop, the Fresh Prince of ginger hair. Hey, Kevin De Bruyne, man, he's the future of football. He's just awesome. He's one of
he's quality.
He's potentially Manchester City's greatest ever player, and I mean that. If he stays for a couple more seasons, if we give him the trophies that he needs, and we don't lose him to a Barcelona or a Real Madrid, if we can keep him at Manchester City, I say build the team around him, because he just oozes quality. One of these players that you just get excited about. Every time the ball falls to his feet, you feel he's going to do something. And we put a little bit too much weight on him this season. There's expectation on him now to do the business every week, and perhaps for his price tag, you should expect that. But again, if he was fit all season, he'd walk into the team of the year. And he is worth 12, 15 points a season in what he gives you in assists and finishes. And he's someone that, if he turns up on the weekends, could be the match winner there. I was very sorry, boys. I'm looking to him and thinking he could tear Arsenal apart.
Yeah, he's one of the players. I said in my formal preview, he really scares me. Obviously, as well as Aguero. Also, Alex, I spoke to Craig earlier about the team he was at. What team do you expect City to go, and how do you expect them to play?
Joe Hart will start in goal. I think we're going to play quite attacking. Arsenal have only won 2 in 9 away from home, I've seen. So I think we're going to try and score the first goal and spook you a little bit. Zabaleta is out injured, so Sanya will start. Sanya is getting on a little bit, so that has made a little bit of a concern at right back with him playing 90 midweek and then coming back from Madrid and having to sort of play a full 90 again. And obviously you've got a lot of pace going forward, Arsenal, so you're going to give him the run around. Vinny is out injured. I don't know if he went off injured for about 10 minutes against Madrid.
Is he definitely out?
So, he's almost certainly out, probably for the season now. So Otamendi and Mangala, you'll see at centre-back in. Whilst they had their wobbles earlier in the season, they do look to be a little bit more of a partnership now and getting used to the Premier League and look fairly solid. And left-back, Dale Clichy, who has been one of the few players that's been consistent all season for us. If we're going attacking, I think it'll be 4-2-3-1. Fernando has been awesome for the last few weeks, deserves his place. You might see Fabian Delph get a game. What with Yaya at half rate and Fernandinho playing 90 midweek. So I think you might see Fernando and Delph. Further up the pitch, Pellegrini loves Jesus Navas. Nasri didn't play on Wednesday night, so Nasri will probably start. And I think you'll see Kevin De Bruyne involved. Silva is out injured. Sterling is recovering from fitness. Will probably come off the bench at some point. Will Aguero start? I think Aguero will start. But there's going to be a lot of City fans who'll say start Kelechi because Aguero did look a little bit absent midweek. And even though I've just sung his praises for 10 minutes, it was one of his rare off days. And Kelechi Iheanacho is just, he scored 2 against Southampton. Like I said, he won't be bothered by the fact that this could be the game that determines Champions League football next season. He won't be bothered by that. He wants to run around and score himself a goal.
Yeah, definitely, because most of the season, most people were actually looking at this fixture as it's a title decider, but now it's just simply a third or fourth place playoff. It's just as simple as that. So, Craig.
Oh, yeah, I think it's. Oh, sorry, Sebastian, carry on.
Also, right, no, you finished.
Oh, no, I was just saying, I think, Sky definitely put this one down as, the penultimate week of the season. It'll be like, the big title one, or Arsenal will be tripping City up, or vice versa. In the same way that Chelsea play Leicester on the last day of the season, and Manchester City play Swansea on the last day of the season. I look at that and think that maybe Sky wanted that to be, will Swansea and Leicester be battling it out for relegation, while Manchester City and Chelsea battle it out for the Champions League?
Yeah.
Actually, it's Chelsea Leicester's going to be a dead rubber, and City Swansea are probably quite a boring 2-0. But you know what? This might as well be a cup final. Because I don't know about you, I'm looking at it and thinking, you know what? If we get beat there, probably Europa League for us next season. Because I fancy Liverpool to do severe in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So yeah, I can see where he's coming from. So Craig, Alex has just mentioned his team that he reckons will play. So it looks like they'll be playing attacking football. So who mainly from City do we need to? Are you afraid of that can hurt us? Who mainly from City? Pretty all their squad is pretty good, but
all of them I'm worried about.
Yeah. Who particularly? Aguero, De Bruyne.
Aguero, De Bruyne, Nasri. Even Navas, I think if Navas is on that right wing, he's going to give Monreal a hell of a 90 minutes.
Yeah, because I thought Navas played decent the other night.
Yeah, same for Bellerin. If Nasri was on the left, I'm always worried about our centre halves. It doesn't matter if we're playing Charlton Athletic or Manchester City. I'm always worried about our centre halves.
Definitely.
Up front, going forward, I haven't got a problem.
Just staying at the back.
I think we can score. I think we'll definitely score goals up there. We always have. We always have scored goals at Man City.
Yeah, we have.
I think I'm really looking forward to the game. Hopefully, it's like Alex says, it is a cup final. It's going to be a cup final feel about it. We need to keep winning because we want to finish above the unwashed down the road.
Yeah.
We need to win that against City. We could find ourselves going into the last game of the season a point behind them, and hoping Newcastle can do us a favour. And you would say that Villa at home is a given.
Yeah.
But you just don't know, do you? Because we're Arsenal fans, mate, and we just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alex is dead right. Manchester City also need to win this game because Manchester United are breathing down their necks.
Definitely.
And certainly, I think Alex doesn't want Manchester City to fall behind Manchester United.
Oh, certainly not.
Certainly not.
Even, people can go on about, we're all saying, I've had people tweet me saying, you shouldn't be. Like, I was laughing at Spurs against Chelsea the other night. And everyone said to me, what are you laughing at for? What are you laughing at for? They're better than us. They're better than us. I said, hang on a minute. Are you an Arsenal fan? Or what's the story? I don't care if they're top of the league. I don't care if they're above us. If they lose and lose the title, I'm going to laugh at them. Simple as that. And I think Alex would agree the same. It wouldn't matter if Manchester United were above them. Alex would still laugh at them if they lost the title.
Hey, we spent a long time laughing at Manchester United when they were above us, about 34 years, so I know where you're coming from, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I can understand where you're coming from. And Alex, we'll just have your opinions. Who from Arsenal mainly do you reckon could hurt you from the team? Who from Arsenal?
I think what Craig was bang on is that going forward, Arsenal have got this annoying habit of scoring at the Etihad. And this is a game that could be a 3-2 or 4-3 because I think both sides are very strong going forward. Like I said, you're a very attacking side, you're a very fast-paced side going forward. I'm looking at Sanya, he's going to have a little bit of tiredness about him, and obviously, he'll want to perform against his former club. But he's the sort of player that if Sanchez comes at him and brings his A game, could maybe take him to school. Equally, though, I'm looking at the league table and thinking that Arsenal are 3 points ahead of us. Wenger's talked about earlier in the season that the sponsors just want to guarantee Champions League football. Although I'm in two minds about it. I'm sort of concerned that Arsenal will come and you might actually play a little bit more conservatively and be happy with a draw. Because a point basically means that you have to lose on the last day, and we have to beat someone convincingly to guarantee a third spot. Weirdly, I'm more concerned that you aim to disrupt us because much worse sides than Arsenal have got away with that. Norwich just closed us down and got a 0-0. So with Arsenal, you score first and you close us down. That's the end of the game for us.
I disagree with that. I'd have to disagree with you there. Even at 1-0, mate, we support Arsenal. Even at 3-0, we're begging for more.
Yeah. Did you see our game, Alex, against West Ham? We were 2-0 up. All we needed to do was to hold on for 10 more minutes in that first half. Then we immediately got to 2-2. So
perfect
it
example.
Shows what we're like. It's a perfect example there.
Was that Arsenal bottling it though, or was that a West Ham momentum? Because that's the difference between City and West Ham is that whilst our football before Southampton has been good for a while, we don't feel like we've got momentum behind us. We don't feel like we've got a whole squad that is, ready to, if we go a goal down, is ready to fight back. Which is heartbreaking because Manchester City, for a very long time, the Manchester City that I grew up with, always were that club. If you get, coming back, we came back from 3-0 down against Spurs to win 4-3 because you had 11 players that just wanted to win every single game. I don't think that we're a team of mercenaries like some people on Twitter would have you believe. But I do look and think Yaya Toure is packed up now. I do look and think that maybe the Alexander Kollarovs are happy to play for Manchester City, but going to work too hard now if it gets difficult. Whereas that West Ham team that you played considered themselves in the race for fourth place, had a little bit of underdog spirit about them. They've got Payet, who seems to be banging goals in for fun. And actually, I think that West Ham, even when they were 2-0 down, we're still going to go full throttle. And I actually look at, if we go a goal down at home, Manchester City is a very frustrated little place at the moment, especially coming off the back of the Real Madrid result. And the fans will get frustrated, players will get frustrated. Vincent Kompany isn't going to play. We're not going to have that leadership on the pitch of someone just to put it together. And I think the biggest worry is not the Sanchez or the Ozil or whatever. It's actually that you might score first and then we'll just fall apart and win the game for you. I am confident. I think Manchester City will win, but it's a quiet confidence. I think it's cautious, it's wary that we just. I'm nervous. Is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your prediction? So what do you reckon the score will be, Alice? Do you reckon you're going with your heart, or are you going with what you instantly think?
No, I think Arsenal will score at some point. So I think it'll be a case of outscoring. So I'm going to go 2-1. 2-1. City to score first. Hopefully 2-0 up, and maybe we'll let Arsenal have one in the 80th minute, but to make it interesting. But yeah, I think Sergio Aguero lungs you a goal, and a little bit of De Bruyne magic, I'd say.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Craig, what's your score prediction?
I'll go the opposite. I'll go 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal, right?
2-1. I reckon Manchester City will go 1-0 up. Relax a little bit, hit them on the break, 1-0, and then get another one 5 minutes later, and that'll be it. 2-1, game over. Third place secured.
Oh.
And then on to the last season to finish above the unwashed.
Yeah, I really hope you're right, but my honest prediction, I'm going to go 2-2. I reckon it will be a very entertaining game. I reckon there'll be goals, but I think Man City will be up for it. So,
of course.
But obviously,
if Arsenal are not going to win the game, then a 10-all draw. 10-all draw.
I think we'll probably play for that, but obviously I'd love Arsenal to win. So there we are. Should we wrap it up there, guys?
Absolutely, mate. It's been a pleasure.
All right, and thanks ever so much, Alex, for joining me. It's a pleasure to have you on the other side.
Yeah, what do you like, eh? Thanks very much for having me. I've enjoyed this. Cheers.
Yeah, I've seen your content, some of your content on Blue Moon Rising. Seriously, check it out. It's brilliant, and obviously thanks to Craig for joining me again for the Guna Talk.
You're welcome, Seth, mate. Yeah. Anytime.
Excellent, and as always, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and also leave a comment down below for those of you who are watching, your thoughts on the game, and also anything we've discussed, your thoughts on it, and your score predictions. Leave it all in the comments below, and I'll speak to you very soon. And until I next see you, come on, you Reds.